Do you have a 7.3 liter with a dipstick tube adapter that's leaking oil all over the ground? If so, this video is for you. My name is Jace with the Locked In YouTube channel, and today we're gonna do some stuff. The parts we're gonna be using in this video are all from a website called 73dipstick.com. You know, the problem's pretty common when a guy makes his whole internet presence all off of fixing one problem on these trucks. As a little bit of backstory on why these trucks have this problem, whether it's the newer Gen 7.3s or the OBS like you see me working on here, we all know these trucks run for hundreds of thousands of miles. Well, when Ford came out and designed the internal O-ring seal on the dipstick adapter, I don't think they really had in mind that the O-ring was gonna be on the truck for 350,000 plus miles like this one has right now. So it's constantly submerged in hot oil that absorbs into the seal, causing it to expand and no longer seal properly anymore. Where 7.3 Dipstick came out with a part to change that, you can see inside this little package here is a couple of parts. Some ultra black gasket maker, a new nut for your adapter, and an external seal with a little plate that holds the whole thing together. Now what these parts do is actually convert it to an external seal on the outside of the oil pan, where we don't have that oil soaking situation. And before watching this video, you might have researched and found the same thing I did, that they do sell some cheaper versions of this on Amazon. But what those parts do that this one doesn't is require you to either lift the cab, lift the motor, or in some cases just abandon the old adapter inside the oil pan. Which for me, I didn't like the idea of just floating metal around inside my oil pan where everything's spinning around in there. This one, on the other hand, reuses your original oil pan dipstick adapter, but instead just changes the seal to an external seal. So I think that's more than enough backstory on a simple oil leak on a 7.3. Half of you guys probably just skipped through that section, so we might as well go ahead and get to work. First step is going to be disconnecting both ground cables from both batteries up top, and also removing the top bolt for the dipstick at the very top attached to the side of the motor. This bolt down here on the side of the dipstick is a 10mm. Then go ahead and wiggle the dipstick tube out of its hole. It's got a little O-ring down there that's holding itself in, but if you pull it on out, just go ahead and set it off to the side for now. Now this here is our culprit. You can see all the oil coming down the side of the pan, dripping onto the ground. Up here is what we're going to be working on to completely, permanently remedy this leak. Next step is just to remove the starter, which is technically a optional thing to do, but I believe it saves you more time removing the 3 bolts for the starter than it does to try to deal with it in the way. If I were to do this process again, I would definitely still remove the starter. I think it's well worth the time. So now that I've got a clear shot at the oil dipstick adapter tube, or tube adapter, I guess you could call it, right up there, we're gonna go ahead and clean up the whole side of this oil pan and get it nice and ready to start removing parts, because I don't wanna have too much of that oil gunk dropping down inside the oil pan, getting mixed up with the motor. And that's what it looks like after. I went ahead and scraped all the grease from all the way around, because again, we are doing an external seal now. So you want to get it as clean as possible. Obviously outside of that area down in here, I'm not worried about too much, but where that seal surface is going to be, we want to make sure it's super clean. This is the time I want to note these little detents you can see up there. For the different year and model trucks, vans, whatever this 7.3 liter is put into, that detent changes. On the OBS, you can see the detent on the top is what we use to direct this dipstick adapter straight up to be the correct direction for the dipstick itself. Some of the newer trucks, and I believe some of the vans and buses maybe, that detent on the bottom is used to direct it a little farther forward. So make sure you pay close attention which detent you're using when taking it apart, so that when you put it back together, it's in the correct location, facing the correct way, so that you can actually put the dipstick tube back in and reattach it up top. Now to start the removal of the dipstick adapter, we need a tool to prevent it from actually falling down inside the oil pan, which is where this little bottle brush comes into play. This bottle brush here has this 180-degree bend in it so that we can insert it into the adapter and prevent it from falling off into the oil pan. The whole reason why we're doing this repair kit to begin with is to prevent us from pulling the cab or the motor or something like that. And if we drop that down inside the oil pan, it's not going to be a good day for us the rest of the day. The owner of 73dipstick.com was kind enough to provide me one, but just in case you order it from a different retailer or something like that, this is the information on this little bottle brush here. 16-inch by 1/2 inch brass wire tube brush. Now this bottle brush gets inserted right into the end of the dipstick adapter, nice and far to where it feels pretty solid to where you can't pull it back out, because this is our saving grace to prevent us from dropping this thing down inside the oil pan and causing us a really bad day. Once you've got your bottle brush inside the adapter, you can use a big pair of channel locks to kind of crack the old nut loose. Then it should be able to be kind of spun off by hand pretty easily from there. Next, go ahead and push the adapter inside the oil pan and retrieve the old O-ring that's no longer being used. You could either just grab it with your fingers like I did, or use a pair of pliers, whatever you need to grab a hold of it. That's our culprit right there. That is the reason for all of our problems. This one goes in the trash. Now remember, when you put your adapter back, it has to re-line up with the same detent that it did before, just like that. Now, as you can see, I dropped it down in some oil, so we're gonna wanna go ahead and clean up our surface again before we do anything with the new one. Double and triple check it, because we don't want to have a problem with it just because of the fact that we were lazy. Ever since we removed that internal seal and we're going with an external, the outside of this thing needs to be free of all debris, I guess, all grease, oil, dirt, whatever you could think it, whatever you want to call it. Get rid of it all. Using parts cleaner for this, because parts cleaner doesn't really leave behind any residue, so that the gasket maker can make a proper seal when we put it back together. Now over here on the hood of the Jupe Strangler, we're gonna unpack the rest of the parts in this kit and kind of go over what each and every one of them is. Starting with our gasket maker. This gasket maker is gonna go on the oil pan itself. Not on the gasket, not on the metal plate there, not on the nut, only on the oil pan itself. And specifically from the manufacturer, the guy that I talked to in Instagram DMs, you need to be very, very gracious with how much gasket maker you use. According to his instructions, this should go on nice and thick to the point where it actually squeezes out when you install the nut. We then have the rubber gasket that goes on first, then the plate that holds everything down, nice and flush, and the aluminum nut. Oh, and I almost forgot, he also provides a brand new O-ring for the dipstick that we removed at the very beginning of this video. So we'll put that on as well at the very end. And again, I stress a good final wipe down before applying the gasket maker itself. Then apply that gasket maker nice and thick right in between the threads and the oil pan itself. Make sure it squeezes into that gap properly. Then take 2 fingers and spread the rubber gasket on top of that gasket maker evenly, while routinely making sure you pull the adapter back through the hole so it doesn't fall back inside that oil. Pretty self-explanatory to install the metal plate on top of that. And then get the aluminum nut started by hand. Remember, it is aluminum, so be careful not to cross-thread it, strip out the threads, anything like that. All right, this part is proving to be kind of difficult with the camera in the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my channel locks right here, tighten that up before that gasket maker dries. I'm gonna move the camera out of the way just for a second here. So we went ahead and tightened that down. You could see all of that gasket maker squeezing out around the gasket and even through this little hole here where our detent is. And I went ahead and pushed the bottle brush all the way down so that it kind of pushed the little bristles the other direction and pulled it on out. Now it's just the process of kind of putting everything back together. Oh, but first I almost forgot, don't forget to put that new gasket on the bottom of the dipstick. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then reverse the whole process of the starter and everything, put the dipstick tube back in and see how we're doing at the end. Now, we did all of our steps in reverse now. The starter's back in. The new O-ring is on the oil dipstick tube. Everything's all tightened up back underneath the truck. But one thing I want to note is that this gasket maker from, what is this, Permatex, after I did some research, does say they recommend leaving 24 hours before you put any heat back into the system. I don't know if I'm going to wait a full 24 hours. They do say a minimum of an hour before you have it in contact with oil and stuff. And obviously the moment you start up the truck, it's going to be flinging oil back up on where that gasket used to be. So I would say at bare minimum, if you can, leave this thing for an hour before starting up the truck, and definitely as close to 24 hours as possible before you start putting heat back in the motor. On that note though, job well done. If you're here to the end of the video, hopefully that means that you actually fixed your oil leak on your truck like I did. Links to the products will be in the description. It is not sponsored by any means necessary, but I like when somebody comes out with a product that actually works. Go check out that guy's website, and while you're here, drop me a like, shoot me a comment. This is the first kind of tutorial style video I've ever done. I'm more of a kind of automotive vlogger, I guess you could say. So if you guys like this sort of content, let me know. Other than that, if you want to see more stuff like the project we've got going on over here to the side, if you guys can see that, you know, the Jupe Strangler, there is going to be a lot of work done to that in the future here. So please do drop me a follow, subscribe, all the rest on all the social medias, and we will catch you in the next one.